Hey guys, how's it going everyone? It's Jackie Felix here, and today I just want to make a video on, a gearing guide. This is specifically made for casters, so witch and wizards. However, you can also apply this guide to other classes as well. And the purpose of this video is kind of to help you guys build the most efficient path for your character in Black Desert Online, and to save yourself time and money in that process, right? So as you can see on the screen here, you can probably see, a very standard, the old soft cap kind of gear level where, you probably have this gear coming out of seasonals or seasons. And, essentially it's like full Tet boss gear with, base Kaposha accessories, something like that. And I just want to build this forward towards, what it can look like towards from 600 up to 700 gear score. Alright, so let's get started, guys. Alright, so let's start off with your objective is to become better or more stronger in node wars, right? Like large scale PvP. So this is the build path I'll recommend if you want to do that. So I will start off, and this also depends on your market, but I'm mainly basing this off the NA marketplace. So take that into account, and you might want to build your build path might be a little bit different, right? So first off, you probably want to, either, replace these base Kaposha rings with, either Tet Crescents, or if you get a pen Kaposha ring from a seasonal reward or attendance reward or something, you can do that as well. So you want to get both of these to, either pen Kaposha ring or Tet Crescent, which, these options are usually very cheap. I think Tet Crescents are some of the cheapest Tet accessories out there, in addition to Basilisk Belt. And here you can also either get the Kaposha Pelt to pen if you have that. I'm pretty sure this is one of the rewards you can collect from seasonals as well. Or if you can't do that, just get a Tet Bassi Belt. I think they're 2 or 3 or 4 billion max. And then after that, I'll recommend people get individual, either get yourself a Tet Ogre. So just type that in, Tet Ogre ring. And leave the earrings here for now because we'll talk about that later. And at this point, right, what you want to do next is get yourself a Vel's Heart. And some pointers I want to say is that, so do not Caphras Tet armors or Tet boss gear. It's not worth it. You'll have to extract them later when you get pen boss gear, and it's just a really inefficient upgrade in terms of Caphras, right? Alright, so after you've gotten your Tet accessories apart from your earrings and your Vel's Heart, I will now start kind of thinking about, so if you care a lot about large scale node wars, I would consider, getting yourself a pen Nuva. So the reason why I chose a pen Nuva after Vel's Heart is because getting the other accessories first, like these, the belt and the ring upgrade, these are very, very easy upgrades, right? However, getting yourself a pen Nuva, that can cost upwards of 10 to 15 billion. So it's a pretty noticeable investment. However, this would be a really big upgrade for you in terms of PvP. So you can see here, you go up, and I'm not counting any journals in this, but you do going from a Tet Kudum dagger. So going from Tet Kudum dagger, where you had 257 awakening AP to a pen Nuva, going to 272. So the 257 to 272, that's a very noticeable AP gain, right? You definitely notice that in terms of large scale PvP. Alright, so after you got the pen Nuva dagger, I would then consider going for a pen Zarka staff. And then after that, if you're a succession wizard, just leave it, put this at a try dandy, and the reason for that is because I think only 30% of your Sheet Awakening AP goes towards your main hand AP, right? So, and the brackets for your Awakening AP do not count towards your main hand AP, and your main hand AP is mainly what counts towards your ability damage in succession. Now, I'm going to go for the example for this in succession. However, if you're Awakening, then obviously you don't want to be running a Tri-Dandy, you want to be running a Pen Dandy. So just keep that in mind as we move forward. And the other thing is why I recommend people have Tet DR boss gear instead of Tet evasion gear is because, especially at early levels, both in PvE and PvP, like your evasion is nowhere near efficient to a point where it matters, at least on PC. Like even on console, back when the game started, however, like when people didn't really have that much accuracy built into them, like you could really notice Tet evasion stats. But at this point in the game, I'll recommend most players stick with DR gear, especially early on. Alright, so after you've gotten this set of upgrades, you know, I would leave your earrings here. Don't touch your earrings yet. You can't really go for Tet distortions right now, because if you go for Tet distortions, then your DP is going to be too low, because you lose, I think, around 4 DP per Tet distortion. And they're really expensive, like 18-20 billion silver. So leave the earrings there for now. Let's work on your armors first. So in terms of armors, I would recommend you go for Pen Red Nose first. Either enhance it or buy it, up to you. The reason I recommend people get Pen Red Nose instead of like a Pen Dimtree is because a Pen Red Nose is easier and cheaper to Caphras to C10 for your Dead God or your Fallen God armor. So and that's what most of the all the end game players run is the Fallen God, because it's just a better item compared to Pen Boss gear, like Pen Dimtree or Pen Red Nose. So get your Pen Red Nose armor first, and then go for your Pen Bags. And you know, this order can be different. It depends on the marketplace availability or how lucky your RNG is. I wouldn't recommend tapping your main gear from Tet to Pen even. If you want to do that, have a stack ready and use Cronstones. So, and then, you know, go for your Pen Ogons, and then Pen Gaiath. This can be Pen Gaiath or Pen Griffin, doesn't really matter that much. The difference is very similar. You're kind of sacrificing DR for HP. So, personally, I value the HP more, but yep, it's up to you. So here you got pretty much got full Pen boss gear now. And what you want to do next is, when you're at this stage, before you go for the Tet distortions, what I recommend people do is start Caphrasing their Pen armors and their weapons, right? So for example, what I mean here is, for your weapons, what you want to do is, if you see you're at 280 AP here and the next bracket is 281 AP, maybe you put one Caphras level 1 here, and then boom, you hit the next bracket, right? So that's how you should go about Caphrasing your main hand. It should be the most efficient upgrade for you to get to the next AP bracket in terms of Caphras, compared to like something like an accessory upgrade, right? So that's how you should go about that. Now, before you go for Tet distortions, what I recommend people do is, so get your armors to Caphras level 2 first, like all of them to Caphras level 2. And Caphrasing your Pen armors is one of the most efficient like DP upgrades you can do for your gear, right? You get a lot of bonus. So you can see here, I'll just show you the sheet. At C20, right? C20 boss armor, you get a bonus 8 sheet evasion and 8 sheet DR. So that's an extra 16 sheet DP, not including the hidden stats for each C20 Pen armor, right? So that's a lot of gear score, and it's not just gear score, like these stats definitely do matter, right? And it's really efficient upgrades. Really efficient upgrades. So get this to C2, and then after that work towards C4, right? C4, go towards C4, and also you can put 1 Caphras level on your offhand and get that 4 additional accuracy, right? Which is really efficient stats. All right. So at this point, you're 281 AP, you're 332 DP right now. I'm not including journals. You're looking pretty good, right? And now at this point, what I recommend most people do is go for your TED distortion earrings, because these are a huge AP upgrade. A huge AP upgrade. They go from 281 to 291 here. However, you do lose 8 DP, but I can tell you the AP gain is more noticeable. And as you can see, you know, your 291 AP, the next bracket is 293. So what you want to do is Caphras your main hand to 293. So goes from Caphras level 1 to Caphras level 5, and boom, there you hit the 293. So yeah, 293 AP, what next, right? What do you do next? The next is essentially you just want to work on your Caphras. The next point is you go from your armors, you go from C4 to C6 in your armors, right? And then after that point, what you want to do is go for C9s. Before you go for C9s, actually, do your red nose, put that to C10, and then switch this over to a dead guard. So, sorry, Fallen God's armor. And you can leave this. I'll leave this at Pry for now, because Pry is pretty easy to enhance. But ideally, you want to get it to Duo at least, right? So you have Fallen God, right? And then you go for your C9 armors. You're going for your C9 armors. There you go. So you've got 351 DP, which is a really good amount of DP right now. And then you also got to take into account, look at your offhand. You can actually get some really good stats from your offhand as well. So, but it is a lot more expensive to Caphras your offhand, and the stats aren't as good as like Caphrasing your armor and main hand. So, for example, you see at Caphras level 5, sorry. At Caphras level 7, you get 1 additional sheet AP. At Caphras level 8, you get 4 additional accuracy with a total of 8, right? And then on top of that, at Caphras level 5, you will have 2 extra sheet DP, 1 evasion and 1 DR, 3 hidden evasion and 1 hidden DR, right? So they're noticeably good stats, but at the same time, you gotta remember you should prioritize your armors and main hand before your offhand, essentially. Okay, cool. So you got full C9s, you got your Fallen God. You should ideally go for Duo here. And at this point, you're looking pretty good, right? So the next goal you should have is going for 301 AP. Now, how you can do that is up to you. What I would recommend is start Caphrasing your Penzaka stuff up before you start investing into pen accessories, because this is a kind of like it's a guaranteed progression upwards, right? So obviously with journals, it will make it a lot easier. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend, I'm not saying going all the way to, C18 or C20. What I'm just saying is, with the help of journals, push this AP at this point towards 301 AP is what you want to do. And okay. And after that point, after you've reached 301 AP, sorry, let me see. Boss offhand. So I'll just put the C14 just as an example, right? Get this to 301. Okay, there we go. So what you want to do after this point is, so with the armors, you go C2, C4, C6, and then C9, and then you go C13, right? So you do each armor towards C13, and it's not like what you shouldn't do is each armor. So like, say you have 3 pieces of armor, right, and they're C9. What you don't want to do is like each armor, push each armor to C10, and then push each armor to C11. You do one at a time, because what I mean by this is there are breakpoints, right, with your armors. So for example, at C2, you get 2 extra sheet DP. At C4, you get another extra 2 sheet DP, right? And that's the same as C6, C9, C13. And you should follow that pattern in terms of your gear progression, because your DP brackets, they do matter in terms of your damage reduction. Alright, cool. So now you're full C13s at this point. Now you want to start thinking about pen accessories, right? And I'll recommend most people buy their pen accessories and not try to enhance them, but that's just my opinion. The other thing is, if you're a succession, put this up to C19, because what this does is it gives you 12 accuracy, which, you know, is pretty noticeable, and it's pretty cost efficient. It's not that expensive to Caphras up a Tridani. They might fix this, they might change this in the future, but if you're succession, there's no reason not to do this. And so with the pen accessories, while for pen accessories, I don't mind if you get like cheaper accessories, more cost efficient accessories, because you're not going to have that forever, right? You can get Tech Crescents, Tech Bassies. It doesn't really matter, because you're going to be replacing them later. Now, pen accessories, you want to make sure that you get the best in slot item, because that's going to be a very expensive upgrade for you. And you want to like not have to change that item, because you'll be losing a lot of silver like taxes to the marketplace if you do that, right? So what I recommend people do is, for the rings, go for the Ruins rings, which is the HP rings, and get the HP upgrade from Alvia servers here. Not the crit. So here's the 2 pen Ruins rings, and then after that, so the necklace is, I mean, I'll recommend most people just get themselves a pen ogre or something at the start. Like, no, I mean, just get a pen ogre. I mean, you could make your argument, you could go for a pen lunar necklace, or like, you know, like, yeah, a pen lunar necklace, which is, you know, but I recommend most people go for the pen ogre ring, or the pen laden for their neck, right? And then after that, go for a pen Valtara belt here. And for this, just have this is up to you. I went for the 3 AP upgrade, but you can, I'll probably say most people should probably go for the 6 DP upgrades. It mainly depends on your playstyle, right? And at this point, what you want to do is as you're going for these pen accessories, right? You want to start maxing out your Caphras. So pushing each of these up to C20. And then also moving this Duo Dead Fallen God to a Tri Fallen God. And then moving this up to a C19. And then moving this up to, like, leave your offhand here for now, actually. And then at this point, you want to start thinking about earrings, right? Now, earrings is very interesting. They're very versatile. There's a lot of decent options. You could either go for Narcs, you could go for tongue red earrings. You can also, you know, go for Dawn earrings. The one thing I wouldn't recommend DR players do is go for pen distortion earrings. And the reason for that is because it's way too overkill. The last relevant AP bracket is 316 AP. Going past that point is really unnecessary. The only reason you would go for pen distortion earrings is if you were a evasion player, right? And running an accuracy offhand or evasion offhand. So, yeah, all right. So the path I went was the dawn earrings. So I had 2 pen dawn earrings. Now it's entirely up to you, but I was able to build towards 316 AP with like easily over 500 accuracy here. So that was a build I went. Right now you could also change this up where instead of having the pen dawn earrings here, you could also change it up where instead of running the ruins rings, you could also run the accuracy rings. So the ominous rings, you could run the ominous, which these are the accuracy rings, and ignore the add-ons. Just make sure you go HP for the rings. And so you go 2 accuracy rings, and here you go maybe 2 pentangrads, right? Or like 1 pentangrad and 1 pen distortion. That can be an option as well. And what you want to do while you're doing this, right, is you gotta remember the last real relevant AP bracket is 309 AP. The maximum AP you ever want to go towards, especially for DR build, is 316 AP, because that's the last bracket. Beyond that point, the AP gain doesn't really matter that much. It's mainly about accuracy, right? And instead of that, you could also have another option where instead of having pen ogre ring, you could also go for like a pen lunar necklace, right? This is the accuracy necklace. And what I recommend people do is you don't, so like for example, you don't need to run 2 pen dawns, 2 pen ominous, and a lunar neck. That's way too overkill. That's way too much accuracy. You don't need it, right? The percentage of the player base which has that level of evasion, you're not really going to come across that often. And when you do, it'll likely not even really matter that much. So what I'm saying is either go for the accuracy in the rings, or go for the accuracy in the earrings, or go for the accuracy in the necklace. You can also go for a Penturus. I don't really like Penturus because of how hard they are to obtain, and the upgrade from a Teturus to a Penturus stat-wise isn't really that good. That brings back to my point, like back when we were at the Tet level, right? You could also go for a Teturus belt, but Teturus is very stat efficient. It's a really solid item, right? So what I'm trying to say, at the end of the day, is don't overbuild accuracy, but have a decent amount of accuracy built in for AP. So let me just fix up this build real quick. This is what I'm running right now, is 2 pen dawns, 2 pen dawns, 2 pen ruins, I have a pen Tungray belt, and I have a pen Tungray neck. So this is what I'm running right now for pen Nuva. The other thing I want to mention as well is, I forgot to mention, is also the Garmon's Heart, right? So what I'll recommend you guys do is, before you go for C13 armors, get a Garmon's Heart in your awakening first, or like even earlier than that, get a Garmon's Heart in your awakening first, and then get a Garmon's Heart in your offhand, because what putting a Garmon's Heart in your awakening does is it unlocks 2 crystal slots, and that's huge. That's actually huge. I'll probably do this. I'll probably do this before you even like start going for pen armors, for example, because having additional 2 crystal slots, awakening gives you so much extra potential for build paths, right? Crystal build paths. And that's like a video I can go on to separately, but this is mainly focused towards gear progression, right? Now, okay, let's go on to a different scenario where instead of, for example, your objective, instead of like large scale PvP, is you want to become a god tier PvEer, and you want to be like really good at defending a spot, doing 1v1s, doing 1vx, then and you want to build into endgame evasion, right? So this is what I recommend people build if they want to do evasion. So you know, like instead of having DR gear, you have evasion gear. So instead of Begs, you would have Libers. Instead of Ergons, you have Muskins, and leave the guy up there. So okay, here's what you do, right? You still go for the TED accessories first. You go for the TED accessories first. There you go. And then what you want do here is you go for a Penkudum, because that's a huge PvE upgrade, right? You do Penkudum. It's like a mix. You can do Penkudum. You go for a Tet Blackstar, a Tet Blackstar staff here, and you go for a Val's Heart, right? And that's pretty solid. That's a pretty solid start. Now, what you want to do after that is so I'm assuming right now you're grinding history, Ackman grind spots like that. Like your DP matters, but it doesn't like matter that much. Like your AP matters more, right? So at this point, what you want to do is, so you get your AP first, right? You get your AP first, and then you start going towards DP. So here you go towards your pen armors, your pen Libers, your pen Muskins, your pen Gear, your pen Red Nose, and then you start working towards. At this point, you can start working towards pen distortions earlier because you're PvE focused, right? You might do some dual for spots once in a while, but the AP is gonna matter a lot more than DP if you're mainly focused around PvE. So you get your distortions here. And then after that, you go for your Fallen God, right? You transform your Red Nose into a Fallen God armor. You want to get it to like Prior Duo if you're lucky. And then after this point, what you want to do is, okay, so what you want to do after this point is you want to start like going towards, so Caphrising some of these armors. So like going from C2 to C4 to C6 to C9, right? So let's put these at C9, remembering what I talked about with the DR. So you got full C9 here, and let's start transitioning over. So again, if your succession have the, what you want to do here is, if you're mainly focusing out around PvE, even at this point, get yourself a Black Star God Sphere, right? Because this has pretty decent PvE bonuses in terms of damage. So you got your 2 Black Stars here, and you got your Penkudum, you got your Vels, you got C9 armors, and at this point, let's start working towards the C13s. I'll say probably at this point, go towards the C13s. Yep. Go towards these 13s. And because you have 2 Black Stars, you can't Caphras Black Stars, right? So you need to be... it's a lot harder to get AP brackets with Black Stars because you can't Caphras them. So there's a point where you can go for Pen Black Star. However, I wouldn't recommend going for it too early because it's very expensive to go for Pen Black Star attempts. So, alright, so at this point, you can start going for pen accessories. You know, again, I'll probably go for the Ruins rings, especially for evasion. Go for your pen Ruins. And after that, go for your pen Ogre. Right? And then here you can go for a... you can go for like something like a pen Tungrat belt, or like a pen Valtara, probably a pen Valtara belt. And so right there, you got your pen accessories. Leave your Tet distortions there for now. Start Caphrising up your offhand too, right? And make sure both of these have Garmas Heart attached to them as well. Probably Probably do this before you do your C9s or even earlier than that, in my honest opinion. And then, okay, so once you're at this stage, right? What I'll recommend you do is, okay, see what you want. You can either choose to enhance these black stars, and I'm pretty sure the main hand, you can get a pen black star main hand, not that hard on the NA marketplace at least. I don't know, depends on your server. You can either choose to enhance this or choose to buy it. Either option is like, it's gonna be a lot of work, it's gonna be a lot of effort, right? But eventually you'll want to get these to pen. So assuming you get both of these to pen here. And then what you want to do is you want to move these Tet distortion earrings to pen distortion earring, right? After that point. Actually, before you do that, make sure you C20 all of these armors. C20 these armors before, like, yep, as you're going for the pen black star, depending on, you know, if you want to enhance it or buy it. And then here you go, your Trifallen God as well. So sorry, my bad. Get your Trifallen God first, and then go for your C20 pen armors. And after that, or in between that, you go for your pen black star attempts, right? And then at the last step you do is you get this to like a C19, and you go for your pen distortions, right? And when you're at this point, you can be flexible with your offhand. So like, instead of having a Kudum, you could maybe have a powering dagger, for example. Have a C20 powering dagger, right? And if you're able to use a powering dagger and get like the 293, 297 or 301 bracket, it's very strong. Because you're very, very tanky and you still do really, really good damage. The other option you can really do, also do, is like, instead of having pen of Altara, you can have a pen Centaurs. Run a pen Centaurs here with a pen Kudum, or you could run both, a powering and a Centaurs. And the strength about endgame evasion is it's very flexible in terms of its build path, right? And it's, I would say, in terms of super endgame gear, like 710, 720 gear score, maybe you're looking at, you know, a pen Debaraka, maybe for some god reason, somehow get a 10 Debaraka. Like, endgame evasion is definitely, like, I'll say in a lot of aspects, it's definitely stronger than endgame DI in terms of PvE. It's better than endgame DI in terms of like 1v1s in small scale. I think in terms of like Succession Wizard, only like in terms of large scale PvP does in-game evasion doesn't really like outshine in-game DR, because that's the nature of large scale. But like, it depends. Going for like this build with in-game evasion is a lot of work. It's a lot more work compared to DR, but you know, it's up to you how you want to do it. I just gave you kind of the tools, and hopefully that helped you out. If you guys have any questions, just leave them in the comment section down below. I really hope that, you know, this video is useful, and sorry for it taking so long. And yeah, apart from that, I'll see you guys in the next video. If you have any questions, again, just ask me in Discord, ask me when I'm streaming live on Twitch. And yeah, apart from that, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.